What's going on, y'all? This is another episode of Curious Mike. I am here with Denise Garcia and Brittany Renner. Appreciate y'all getting on the show.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, it's an honor.
Denise's first podcast ever. We've,
Ever.
me and you have been friends for years now. First time meeting you the other night.
Yep.
Y'all have been friends how long?
Since like 2018 too,
Yeah.
but we recently just got closer and then we filmed Basketball Wives, so that I feel like trauma bonded us.
Yeah, talk a little bit about Basketball Wives. What is that, and like, what are y'all? Why'd y'all get on the show, and kind of what are you trying to get across on the show?
You can go first.
Well, I think the first time that I went on Basketball Wives, I was very like friendly, kind of trying to be liked, and I came back full hijab and just different set of eyes, and I thought maybe I would have a different experience, but it was the same bullshit.
Really? So you regret going on there?
So what? I don't have any regrets, no. I mean, I feel like, I don't think there's anything to be proud about when it comes to like checking someone that could be your mother, like the same age as your mom, but old bitches get checked every day, and it's not something to be proud of, but you know.
I gotta check out the show. I've never
haven't
seen
watched
it.
anything?
Nah,
You're
but
not
I know
missing anything.
Y'all too, that's probably entertaining.
Well, I mean, I enjoyed it. I just feel like watching it play back was totally different than I thought it was going to be. Like, I feel like people didn't get to see the real me. They didn't really get to see like my personality, really.
Is it like, it's reality TV, right? So
Yeah.
they're clipping up and painting the narratives they want to paint.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I think this season was so unique because you had a mother and daughter relationship that was just like the center and really the theme of the season.
Yeah.
And so like that in itself, watching that play back too was really rough. We were closer to the daughter, Chantel. It was her first season as well. So I feel like that just kind of took up the whole season. So it really didn't get what we kind of wanted, really.
Yeah, I don't feel like at the end of the day, it's really to showcase the lifestyle of people like in that realm. I feel like it's just more centered around the group dynamic and its dysfunction. So naturally, I don't think they even captured our friendship accurately, in my opinion. So, you know, but we made real friends.
It is what it is.
Yeah.
Y'all are great friends, obviously. Man, there's such a, like, for some reason, such a negative connotation of being like a baby mama. Like, whether the relationship you were in was super like healthy and good, and you had a kid and you brought a kid into the world and it was whatever, for some reason people always take that and run with it.
Yeah.
And a narrative is painted that's so negative sometimes. So how do you guys feel about that, and why do you think that is? I mean, I've felt for you just seeing like some of the stuff you've gone through comments wise, and I haven't known you as long, but I'm sure it's similar. Like, where do you think that negative connotation comes from? And speak on that a little bit.
I feel like ever since my ex and I were together and he posted me, it was like, oh, you're a gold digger. And this was before we even brought Zoe into the world. So I feel like people just think that you're kind of out there for what players can offer you, like financially and just all of that. But my situation, I feel like is like maybe like 10% of the league. Like I knew him before in high school. Like my situation was very different. So like having to deal with that publicly was really hard. I don't understand why fully. Like
that's
we
honestly,
get that
in your situation, like when you talk about athletes or people that end up having money, it's their dream scenario to, you know, stay with the girl that they went through high school with and grew up with, and that was your and Zoe's situation, and you know, so I don't really understand.
And I was an athlete myself too. Like I had my own stuff going on. I was a soccer player, he was basketball, so it was like I had my own ride somewhere to go play and he had his own, so I felt like that kind of brought us together because we both were student athletes, but we didn't think anything, like I didn't think that, you know, I didn't know what to expect, so I was kind of just experiencing it firsthand. We were so young too, like looking back, I'm like, I don't know how I even was able to navigate that, but I learned a lot.
Yeah, I feel like you have handled it well. Like it hasn't taken away, like since I've known you, it hasn't taken away like your joy of life. You still like to have fun. You're still Denise. It hasn't like beat you up too much. So
thank you.
In this world, like it's good to have thick skin. Your situation's a little different because you met PJ like later on, correct? Or how long have you known him? What was that like?
Yeah, I met him, I think we had started kind of like talking in 2019. So kind of like right before he had got drafted, you know. But let's reverse 1 second, because before we go on to that, because that's just whatever. You have made comments. I think you're asking us about how do we feel being on the other side of it. My question to you is, you have made comments saying that you would never wife someone who has a child with someone in the league. So my question to you is, like, what inspired you to feel that way? And what connotation do you have about women who have a child with a basketball player?
Yeah, that's a good question.
We'd love to hear the answer.
What is my connotation? I don't have a negative connotation to it. I think that, you know, my right-hand man, Nicodemus, you've met little Nick, I think, or you know about little Nicodemus, the little baby I'm always with, and him and his wife just separated, and Nicodemus has spoken just on the difficulties it brings once you have a child to then like move on. Like, it takes a very understanding person to want to take on that role, take on that, and it can get really messy, like when you're going into life with a woman who has a child and now you're having to navigate, like, how close are you going to get with the child? How does the baby daddy feel about you getting close to the child? So I don't have a negative connotation. I feel like for me, because I don't have any kids, it's something that I've always thought I would steer away from. But I truly feel like as I've gotten older, I've realized, like, once you meet someone and you're really down for them, then everything that comes along with them, you can decide if you want to take that on or not. I don't have a negative connotation like, oh, that person has a child, so they're untouchable, and that's like a negative thing. I just feel like you have to weigh it out. You have to, because it does, you know, it comes with a lot if you're willing to take that on. So I don't view it negatively. The comments I said about, what comments are you specifically talking about?
I think you're talking about when he said that he wouldn't wife somebody that was already
that
with an athlete.
had talked to an athlete.
Yeah.
I feel like if you dated like publicly, like a player, it would be hard just because of, I don't know. I just feel like it'd be hard. What do y'all think about that? Do you think I'm curious on y'all's thoughts, because to me, like I said in the comments, like, it would be tough dating someone's old girl and they just always have that like over you. Like, I don't know.
It's tough. Like, I feel like
I could be tripping though. It could be like an ego thing or like a
insecurity thing.
I don't know. It could be. I don't know. I'm not saying I'm right. That's just how I've always felt. But I'm open to change. I'm not stuck in my ways.
I feel like I see why guys are hesitant with certain girls, because I even see certain girls and I'm like, you make it hard for us women to be taken seriously as, like, you know, mothers versus baby mama, or out here for the wrong thing. So I get that, because I see it and I'm like, you guys are surrounded by it a lot. I just think it's up to you guys to kind of like vet those girls out, you know what I'm saying? Because it is, I see what you guys are surrounded by too. So I understand that part of it. But on the flip side, I just feel like the reason why I have stayed true to myself is because you gotta make your private life happy and make sure that whoever's coming into yours and your child's world is adding something.
I agree. So is your because I agree with you. Your stance, Brittany, because I've listened to some of your like podcasts and, you know, talking to guys and whatever, and going back and forth with them. Like, what is your stance on like past? Are you like, once you meet the person, past doesn't really matter? What is your thoughts on that?
I feel like everything someone has encountered up into present day needed to happen. So whatever has taken place, whatever puzzle pieces these relationships have given you, I'm not going to judge anyone for it. If I don't want someone to judge me for my past, I cannot judge them. And I feel like, of course, I am always going to be very vocal about that group of people that I feel like, you know, if you have had public relationships or you've just lived a very public life like myself, I always found myself going to bat for and being that voice for that. Because, you know, for me, it's like, I live my life out loud. Like, I mean, pretty much everything I've done, you can Google and find it. So I feel like you not wanting children, like, with someone who already has a kid because you don't have children is a very different energy than, oh, you dated this basketball player who took you seriously, who you thought was your end game, and like, I wouldn't look at you as that. Like, to me, that's very egotistical. Again, your preference, you're allowed that, but I also think it's kind of like, okay, like.
I feel like it's, honestly, it might be the way most men are wired versus how women are wired. Like, I feel like most women, and correct me if I'm wrong, y'all don't care as much about past as men. And I feel like that's because y'all have a gift of being more forgiving, being more graceful, being more this, all these things. And men seem to like, dudes will get mad over some stuff that happened 5 years ago when you weren't even with them. Like, I don't know what that is in men. I feel like it's just a difference in like how we view a situation. I don't really know if it's necessarily like wrong, but it could very well be an ego thing, and that's not the right way to go about relationships. But at the end of the day, I feel like whatever your preference is, there's someone out there for everyone. Like,
yeah,
you know what I mean?
I also feel like though that men collectively not only have like pretty low self-esteem for the most part, or their ego is astronomical. I feel like men fixate a lot on someone's past because they feel that another man can permanently taint a woman. You don't have that power. You just don't. So it's like, again,
You don't think so? You don't think
a
that some
man
women
cannot
are
permanently
damaged?
taint me. It's just like,
Not
because
you, maybe. You're very a strong, independent woman, but a lot of women are they've had relationships that have completely changed their personalities, the way they trust a man, the way they view men in general. I feel like you can be in a messed up relationship that can really mess you up.
Right, but I think where I'm focusing on, because I think it's, I get what you're saying. You're saying that people can be jaded from whatever experiences they have. But I feel like when it comes to past and a man focusing on what happened 5 years ago, or what man you slept with, or what guy you were with, that is thinking when this man stuck his penis in her, she no longer has value. So that to me is where I challenge like that, because it's like, okay, well, who are y'all having sex with? Yeah. We're the whores, but who are we all fucking? You know what I mean? So I think that's kind of where it's like, you know, yes, we're aware of double standards. We all love them when it benefits us. But the truth of the matter is, it's like, if you meet somebody that makes sense, whether they have a kid, whether they've been with someone publicly that was in the league, it's like, why miss out on the potential love of your life just because some guy dated her and it didn't work out? They were meant to have a kid. They moved on. It's just like I said, but
that's probably the mature mindset. No,
I also
100%.
feel like
I wish I could think like that.
Off that too,
Truly.
it's like why are we seen as like the baggage? You know, like why do we, when it's like a blessing?
Baby mama, there's a baby daddy.
And also, right, and also like I really thought, and so did my ex, we thought we were endgame, and then Zoe came before that. So honestly, it showed me that actually you are not my end game.
Yeah. And
so it's like I had to learn in a different
I think it's the same ideology is the reason why men like some type of like purity in a woman, but women don't really like that in men. Like the girls that a lot of dudes go for is like someone who hasn't done everything in the book and like been around the world and seen everything there is to see and done everything. Like they like to bring like a new experience to a woman, and I feel like women are the opposite. They want a dude who has done his thing, can show them, you know, put them on new things. I feel like it's the same ideology. I feel like men and women are wired different, but putting myself in y'all's shoes, the double standards would get irritating. The fact that we think that we can just have a crazy past and have a million bodies in our past.
A billion bodies. A million's generous.
But then
a billion.
We'll be tripping about if a girl we like has however many bodies. My question is, does that matter at all to you guys? Does past matter like at all?
That's hard, because I feel like there's a part of me that's like, get it out of your system. I don't care what happened before me, as long as it's not happening when I'm with you and after. Mm-hmm. But also, like, to some extent, because who are you exchanging energy with? Right. Like how
those
how
are real soul ties. That's a real thing.
Yeah.
When you talk about baggage, like I believe in that. I believe that all these people that you've been with you can bring that into the next situation.
You can also cut the cord as well. But
absolutely. Yeah. So for me, it's like, so how accessible are you? Because then that changes things. Like, are you really picky with who you're exchanging energy with? That to me is important.
I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm 33 years old. I'm not having a conversation about like body count. Like in my mind, that's not like something I'm ever bringing up. I just don't care. Again, like every step that you have taken to arrive here, it's written. So for me to like get caught up on all these insignificant really details, like I'm more concerned about, do I like you as a person? Do I like who I am when I'm with you? Can I be more of myself with this guy? These are the three questions that mean the most to me. So all that body count and, you know, all that other stuff before, to me, it's just like, yes, like it's very talked about in pods, but it's like, how are we moving this conversation forward in like a productive way? Because it's like, okay, I don't want a girl who's been with a bunch of guys. Okay, well, I don't want a guy who's been with a bunch of bitches. Great, now where do we go from here? You guys, we want somebody pure. Okay, but you're not. You're asking for something that you're not. Like,
100%.
Like, are you waiting, have you waited till you are married? Or
No,
'cause
that's what I'm saying.
you have body
I think it is
so
a
you're
double
not really
standard.
pure either. You see what I'm saying?
I think it is a double standard. Like dudes really have a double standard on that. I'm not saying a double standard is right. I think that, I'm not saying it's right. I just think it exists. For whatever reason it is, I don't know if that's going anywhere. Like I said, there's someone out there for anyone, but I do think that double standard exists, and I think talking about it and getting the perspective from both sides, like, it does matter, because putting ourselves in your shoes, like, we would be mad if there was a double standard. Dudes definitely try to, like I said, have those double standards. You have been in the public eye for a long time. You've been on, social media. I'm not sure how you got the notoriety you got. I remember watching some videos back in the day of you being very outspoken about certain issues. What were some of those things? Was it mostly advocating for women, or was it, like, what back in the day were you speaking on mostly, and have those views changed at all as you've gotten older, or do you feel like you're still the same Brittany as you were?
Well, I think my heart has never changed. So there's pieces of interviews, videos that you'll find that it still reflects who I am and where I am today. I think for me, a lot of girls coming up, it was the ones who were more quiet. Everyone has their own way of teaching, don't get me wrong, but like, I feel like there were a lot of things that were unspoken. And if I only have value because you don't know my truth, then I don't really have value. So it's like, for me, I just found myself like, what is there to be ashamed of? So when I'm openly talking about my body count on Shannon Sharp or whatever, I'm gonna be ashamed for what? You know what I mean? So I just feel like for me, people just need to be more comfortable with their truth, whatever that looks like. And again, it only takes one person to see your value. That's yourself. When you choose yourself, everything in your outer world, it catches up. So it's like, I will find a man that also accepts me for me. I only need one guy. Yeah. I don't need 5. I don't even 1,000 guys to wrap around the corner and wait for me. Like, for what? Yeah. So I think for me, it's just like, dude, I'm saying things that people either A, have already done, B, are too afraid to talk about, and C, I just like, and what's gonna come behind it? Because I don't do apology tours, and it is what it is. I accept what comes behind my decisions.
I feel like part of the reason I wanted you on here, I didn't even know you'd get on your first podcast.
I know,
but I was gonna ask. I
so
feel like part of the reason though is the authenticity you've always had. I feel like speaking on the subjects you speak on and being very outspoken, and like, that is rare, especially as a woman. But in both of your situations, like the world, in my situation too, just if you're gonna be public at all, if you're a public figure at all, the world does beat you up. They love negativity and all these things. And a lot of your guys' situation has come from men. So has that, not that you guys hate men or anything like that, but has that like weighed on you at all? Like, just you with the Andrew Tate podcast, so I watched a little bit of your clips with the Fresh and Fit guy, and you're just like, do those things, having those conversations ever just, you get tired of dudes?
No, did you watch those clips? We had a great conversation.
The Fresh and Fit one, yeah, but
we had a great conversation.
Really?
So we spoke for 2 hours. Now the clip that went viral was me calling them bitch ass niggas. That was like the first 5 minutes.
Just the fact that like when you're saying your points or whatever, it seemed like he was like making light of it or joking around.
And that's fine, because at the end of the day, I don't question any platforms I'm called to. I'm gonna teach and I'm gonna share what wisdom was gifted to me, and whether it's received or not is not really my concern. So again, I've sat down with Andrew Tate, Fresh and Fit, academics, Joe Budden, Kevin Samuels when he was alive. I mean, all these people who were supposed to tear me apart, and it's really just about perspective sharing. So it's like, I love talking to different people. Even a tyrant can be a teacher. So I definitely don't hate men. I think we love men. Like, you know what I mean? Like, we're hopeful romantics. Like,
yeah,
you know what I mean?
I think it did kind of harden me a little bit, like, to tap back into like my feminine. It took me a long time, because I was like, hold on, I have somebody to raise. Okay, I have to be an example for my daughter. and what kind of love she should see her mom receive.
Right.
So I really had to like look in on myself, work on those things, and I was just like I can't, I don't have the emotional capacity right now. I need to be at my best if I want the best partner for me and my daughter.
And I mean, it hasn't been public. Like, have you dated anyone since she was born?
She's never met anybody.
Really?
So I'm so picky. I'm literally like so picky with who I choose to date. I really have just been focused on mine and Zoe's world to this point. I feel like because I want to be like the best Denise. Like I lost myself so much in that, just trying to be the best partner, when it was like I need to look inwards and focus on who I am, what makes me happy, what's gonna make Zoe happy. Zoe wants all her friends to come from like over after school, perfect, like let's, it's just our world. So it's taken me some time. I'm really protective. I've yet to introduce a partner to Zoe. I don't know, I'm like, my guy might be a unicorn, I don't know.
What would be the qualifications like of a dude for either of you to like bring in those situations, being a mother now?
You wanna go first?
Like, do you want them taking on like a father role at some point for your child? Like what are the qualifications?
I feel like she just needs to see an example of healthy love, just getting treated the way that, a woman should be treated, like a queen. And just kind of have that, like, I mean, she has a dad, so I'm not looking for somebody to come and be her dad, but it's like be that figure where it's like she's comfortable enough to have conversations. You can have talks with her and develop that relationship with her that any little girl needs.
Right.
So that's kind of where I'm at.
I love that. I mean, I feel the same way too, where it's just kind of like, I think when you have a child as well, life gets very serious, where maybe other instances where you were like horse playing and just kind of doing stuff for the plot. It's like when you have a little person running around and you want to really make sure that, again, like you said, they're treating you with the utmost respect. And yeah, even though, again, my son has his dad as well, but like if we merge a household, that is inevitably going to be a role. Like my son would look for that. Right. So I think it's like, yeah, you want an upstanding guy. You want somebody who is of character, who's consistent, who's a man of his word, who respects you, who's truthful, all these things, So, again, I feel like, sometimes when you have a child, there is that negative stigma just about being a single mom, but there are people who don't care. I mean, look at Sierra and Russell. It's just, she had a baby with Future. You know what I mean?
Russell's the best. I'm close with Russell. He was in Denver. I was over at his house, and the way he views Little Future as he takes care of him
as he should.
It's fire. Now Russell, and there's guys out there like that. What do you guys think are some misconceptions about you guys as individuals that like the work? Because I feel like
bring out the parchment.
You haven't really been very outspoken. I know you've been very outspoken, and you defend your views and all those things. But what do you think individually are some misconceptions?
People think that, oh my God, they think I'm so opposite of who I am. Like, honestly, like they think I'm just out here. I was out here for the clout and whatever came with Zoe. They label me as a gold digger, a whore, slut, like all just disgusting things. Mm-hmm. They couldn't be more wrong about me, actually.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I've seen it all. I'm like, my comments, like.
And they still to this day, 7 years later?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's tough.
Yeah.
What about you?
I mean, too many misconceptions to name, to be honest.
What's one that like really like couldn't be more true? Or it couldn't, is just the opposite of you, or just one you see all the time and it kind of just rubs you? I have mine that people just think about me, but like.
What is it? Let's hear yours first.
A misconception about me?
Yeah.
I don't know. So like back when COVID was happening, right? Like I didn't take the vaccine. Just because I think you should be able to decide for yourself. I've never really taken vaccines. My parents homeschooled us and we weren't going to school. We weren't doing all that. So like as soon as you don't do something, I feel like that the public is for, you're just labeled as a certain type of person. And you're just like, it was everybody thinks because I didn't take the vaccine, all of a sudden I'm Trump this and Trump that, like, all this crazy stuff. I don't know how all that gets grouped together, but there's countless just misconceptions that come along with the decisions I've made, and it is tough to deal with. But at the end of the day, people's public opinion of you, like, they don't meet you in real life. They don't have a real impact on your happiness unless you let them. Like, there is times where I get off social media. Like, I would rather just be with my family, my friends, and not even see it, because anybody could say, this doesn't affect you, this doesn't affect you. But at the end of the day, if you see too much stuff, we're all human.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I do take my breaks from social media for that reason. But at the end of the day, like, it is what it is. That's what comes with it.
Yeah, I feel like I really don't post. I started really posting a little bit more after Basketball Wives because I needed to look inwards and make sure that my life was happy privately. That's why I'm like, I can post a life that nobody really knows about. And I take pride in that because it's like, you guys are going to talk shit to me anyway, so I might as well.
Right.
Yeah.
You still didn't answer.
I don't know. You know, I've joined Instagram when I was 20 and I'm 33 now. So I think that very early on, I was labeled a villain. And I feel that in this world, you're either handed a hero jersey or a villain jersey. And I would say even before I really started to just run amok and be vocal, I was already labeled as that. So I think for me, it's like, yeah, a lot of people have horrible things to say, which is fine. Your feelings are not facts, right? And also nobody asked, but thank you for sharing that. Somebody cares somewhere in the world. But it's just like, I don't know, I think sometimes too, like those negative, like those misconceptions and just people being nasty, I kind of like the benefit of it, because if people think I'm like this terrible, nasty, horrible, succubus, harlot, whore, villain, stay the fuck away from me. Like, don't talk to me, or like keep your distance if you see me. Like, I don't really mind that, but I don't know. I just feel like there's just a lot of negative things. I would say more recently, probably the stuff about just with being Muslim and their reasoning why they feel I converted. I think that stuff has just been maybe more of the glaringly obvious stuff that's just been thrown at me, which is like, okay.
Yeah, we're gonna get into that in a little bit. I feel like what's really weird though is, like, in your guys' situation, your baby daddy probably approached you guys, and they'll label you guys like you guys are like trapping guys, or any baby mama who's the baby mama of a wealthy person, a rapper, athlete, whatever. The woman is the one who gets shamed and gets degraded. So I find that kind of crazy.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I can tell you the day, it's so funny too, because the day that I met, we went to the same school, the same high school. The day that I met him was after practice, my senior year. We went to the school, like, hosted this dinner at this like, it was called Pappuccino's. It's like this little restaurant in Chino Hills, and basketball team was going to CIF finals, soccer team was going to CIF finals. So it was just like a intimate, like, dinner on the patio for us. And it was after practice, and I told my coach, I was like, I don't want to go. I'm tired, I have homework, like, we have this game coming up. Don't want to go, what's the point? I can't even get cute. Like, we're going straight after, what's the point? You know, like, we're not gonna, and I remember, like, that was the first time I had seen him, but I had gone to school with him all these years. I was just doing my own thing. And sure enough, like, he approached me, and since then, like, after that night, like, we were kind of inseparable. And we had our own things going on. So it's like, some things just land on, like, people who aren't really clocking it. Like, you guys really think that I knew this guy in high school. Like, I never wanted our relationship to be based off the things that he can do for me. Because I was like, it's not our foundation of how we even liked each other. You know what I mean? So I just feel like people just will always find something negative to say about it. So it sucks, but it is what it is. Like, I'm not gonna say, hey, look at me, I'm a good person. Like, hey, no, this is my love. No, like, it is what it is.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of athletes that I've met, they're like coddled man children.
For sure.
So
we definitely are.
Yeah, it's like this guy was good in middle school. He had his whole future mapped out.
Yeah.
Everybody from the teachers to the professors to the coaches to, that's really, to me, what my experience. There are some stereotypes that are just true.
Yeah.
And I remember I made a video back in 2018 saying, you know, athletes are really dumb, because most of them are, you know, it's just like, if there's substance, it's just not what they lead with. So for me, it's like,
Okay, well then.
But, so for me, I think it's like, because of playing basketball, like, you guys throw a ball in a hoop. You guys aren't curing cancer. Just like we're on reality TV. We're not doing anything to change the world. This is like cotton candy for the soul. But what it comes down to is like, you guys are have an opportunity to change your whole family situation. So you're already fucking king ding-a-ling when you're fucking 13 years old. Like, so then you grow up, no real character, no integrity. Your teacher was low-key wanted to fuck you, and you had this other bitch who was sucking your dick and doing your homework. And it's just like, now you guys are expected to be like outstanding men? No, like, you guys suck. Like, it's, you know what I mean? So it's not shocking. It's not breaking news. This is a tale as old as time.
But if that's a stereotype on athletes or whatever, then doesn't that stereotype exist for the women that so many of them flock to the athletes? Because if all these girls know, if all of them know that athletes are dumb and they don't have any character and they know that the dudes are gonna probably cheat on them.
Not all.
Most of them, you know what I'm saying? Like, then the women who are going after these dudes, there's gotta be something wrong with them, like bad intentions, like what we go back to. So the stereotype that some of these girls are like called the names that they're called, do you think that there's any validity to that if the stereotype really is that athletes are dumb and we're not good dudes and we're gonna cheat on the girls that we're with? Like, so what does that say about the girls that are chasing them?
That's, first of all, fantastic fucking point. Relationships are mirrors. I also think too, when you meet somebody and you see these glimpses of hope, like, okay, maybe there is more to them. Maybe they are different. Maybe I'm different. Maybe he was doing all these things because it wasn't the right fit. For sure. And then you come to find out that, well, the best prediction for future behavior is past behavior. It's not that anybody can't change, it's do they want to. So I think that's where you ask yourself, you know, I think now it's like, how am I a vibrational match to this person? But I think that's a very fair point. It's like, what is each person mirroring back? Because it's kind of like the perfect storm. You're dumb, she's smart, put them together, you know? It's like, you know, it's just, so yeah, I think it's like you do think that it'll be different. And maybe that's where you can be a little naive and thinking, well, he won't cheat on me. Because I know that's what I thought. I thought, oh, he has an old soul. Like, oh, maybe these other girls, because they just weren't me, like, I'm a better fit for him. It's gonna be a better relationship, and it's the same shit.
Why do you I think I saw a comment of you speaking on the fact that the type of dude you go for, I don't know if this was a true quote or not, but the type of guy you would go for would probably cheat on you. I feel like, I don't know if that was a true quote.
Oh, I didn't say that.
Really? Well, I feel like that's a lot of
modern monogamist, so I don't believe in that.
Okay, well, a lot of women's like type or the guy that they like, they know that guy. Like, they know that they're not gonna go for the guy that's gonna be amazing to them, never cheat on them, be obsessed with them, whatever. Like, they got 10 of those guys right here at their doorstep. But they're gonna go for the dude who probably is gonna end up doing them crazy. What do you think is the reasoning for that? Is that just a lack of, do you feel like once a woman reaches a certain age, she gets past that and she really wants the good guy? Or why do you think so many girls go for something they know? Is it the nurturing aspect of women, or what is it? Please inform me.
I think that sometimes, like, nice guys finish last. Like,
No, for sure. I'm trying to figure out.
Like, sometimes
I'm trying to figure out why.
I'm like, ew. Like, I want flowers from him, not him. Like, I don't know. I really don't know. I feel like that it shows where your emotional capacity is at. Because are you really going to be happy with somebody who's cheating on you? No. I better not fucking find out, actually. But I think some women now are okay with that because of what they get out of it. I don't understand that. I'm very much like, don't let me find out. But yeah, I also am just like, I don't really want the nice, like, it's like, give me a challenge. Yeah.
Really?
I don't know. No. At one time in my life, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
Where I was like, okay, ew, disgusting. Like, don't.
this guy that's
I'm
like
just being
it's like
nice
the
to
simp
you.
thing. Like if he's simping
Yeah,
over
and this
you,
was like where I was at a couple years ago. I feel like I was just kind of like, I'm not into that. Now I just feel like I just really protect my peace. And like I said, my guy's a unicorn, so I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I feel for me that there's a lot of people that they just have a lot of unhealed stuff going on, and then so you're not going to attract what you want, you're going to attract what you are. So I think the issue with that, speaking from experience, because I mean I've made every mistake and I'm going to probably make more tomorrow, but our self-esteem is in the fucking dirt. Like, you know, it's like we want that God, again, whatever is familiar more, again, like your childhood, like what if you're used to seeking validation or perfectionism or I'm jumping through hoops. That was something for me. It was like, I have to perform to be loved, right? So the unavailable guy emotionally was intriguing to me. But when you start to understand where these where these wounds are rooted in and you can heal it, you're not attracted to Mr. Bare Minimum that texts you, you know what I mean? So I think it's, you have to pick your self-esteem out of the fucking ground, off the dirt, put your crown on, figure it out, get to the root of what you have going on. Because I feel like for me, I've dated regular guys in recent years and not so regular guys. It's like, I want the guy who's gonna roll out the red carpet to the magic carpet. I don't care if that's Mr. Regular or if it's Mr. I play basketball or football or like whatever. I think for me, again, when you continuously choose yourself, your outer world has to reflect what's going on internally. So I think people, whether that's the guy who's talking to himself in your DMs or the girl who's chasing the guy that doesn't really want her, just, you know, you gotta kind of look at like, where are we a match and why? And do I like this?
Yeah.
I feel that. My last relationship question, like where do you feel like it gets to the point in a relationship where it's just like, if it gets to that point, it's no longer good? Like, do you feel like if you're checking each other's phones, you have each other's Instagram passwords, you have each other's location, like, do you feel like it's time to call it quits? Or do you feel like, because I'm sure you guys have been in situations where you've tried to make it work, not only for the sake of the relationship, but for the sake of the kids. So like, when does it get to a point where it's like, this needs to be over with?
When you have to have somebody's location or you have to blow them up or I'm starting not to trust, the relationship's over. It's over. Like there's no point in doing that. Why do I need to go through, I don't want to go through your Instagram.
Yeah.
Like I should trust you.
Yeah, I feel like if that's a thought, then you already have your answer. So it's just, you know, again, like I feel like too, when you start to get too attached in that way to the outcome, I feel like you're already starting to lose the plot and the point. It's like you're so obsessed with this relationship working that you're missing all of these red flags that are on fire. You know, whether it's the phone, whether it's just a lack of trust. But I think it all still comes back to this person's mirroring something that you need to work on within yourself. So starting there would be great.
Yeah.
I have one last question. Why do you think men struggle with monogamy so much more than women? Like, do you feel like men are supposed, because some dudes really, and probably some guys you've been on podcasts with, really believe that monogamy is not for men. Like, men should be able to have multiple girls, and it's not natural to lock in with one girl, no matter how special she is. Because I feel like a lot of women get hurt because they feel like, oh, this guy cheated on me, so he must not love me, I'm not enough, and then her self-esteem is terrible. But, like, they don't know that you can love a girl fully, like 100%. And still cheat on her, and it's because you lack probably self-control. You probably but it's not that you don't love her. It's not that she's not enough. So a lot of guys will take that and be like, men just aren't supposed to be with one woman. Do you guys agree with that, or do you feel like it's a lack of self-control, or why do you feel like even if you're the perfect girlfriend, you could still get cheated on? Yeah, what are your thoughts about that?
I think my question would be, before we answer, do you believe in monogamy?
I do. I do believe in it because I grew up with a mom and dad. They're still married after 30-some years. They had 8 kids, homeschooled all of us. So I grew up seeing that. But a lot of my friends, a lot of guys in the NBA, they don't believe that's like natural for like a man. And I see why. Like when you have all these options and you have a wandering eye, like it is hard. Now it's you get on your phone and it's right. If your girl's annoying you, making you mad, you can just You know what I'm saying? Like, it's so easy. But I personally feel like it's a lack of self-control probably, and just, but if you really are seeking peace in your life and happiness, I feel like one woman will bring you that more than multiple, to me.
Yeah. I think like they just have so many options and it's so easy. And I feel like women too, we kind of did ourselves. Some women did as a collective, did us a disgrace, because here you are accepting and willingly being that side bitch or whatever it is, and making it so easy that you ruin it for fucking everybody.
Yeah, especially nowadays, because girls have gotten in that mentality of they're trying to be dogs.
Yeah,
too.
and they think it's like something to be proud of. It's disgusting.
Like, oh, I got this dude wants me.
Disgusting.
This dude,
Yeah.
There was a point in time, the women before us, they had no rights. It was to be seen, not heard.
yeah.
This is the most freedom we as women have had collectively in just career and visibility and using our voices and being in prominent spaces. So I feel like at one point in time, the dad would go trade his daughter for 3 cows. So it's like, how far back are we going? Because we can compare monogamy to it's not natural because animals don't do it. There are several animals, especially birds, and birds can fly anywhere. There are monogamous. So if the bird can fly anywhere in the world, why would they be with just one bird?
I didn't even know that was a fact.
Ravens are monogamous. Eagles are monogamous. Vultures are monogamous. That's why I'm like, there's a lot of birds, and just in general, I love birds, but that are monogamous. So my thing is like, I think it's more disgusting for a woman to be like that. No. I think at the end of the day that people are a vibrational match. This is a game that we are in. This is a feedback system.
Okay, well, let me rephrase that. If a man can completely love a woman and still, I feel like, cheat on her.
I feel like I need a drink.
Do you feel like that? A man can completely love a woman and still cheat? Do you agree with that or no? He doesn't love you fully.
You don't love yourself.
Yeah.
Period. It's not about this woman isn't enough. She's not fucking popping pussy in a handstand. You as a man, there is something lacking within you.
100%.
Because at the end of the day, like, the deeper the bond and the commitment, everything is heightened in it. From conversation to sex that everybody's so fucking, their panties in a bunch about. Like, everything is better when you have like that best friend. Like, we go to the movies and it's just amazing because this is my bitch, this is my friend. Like, the deeper the bond, the further you really go. You know what I mean? Being able to go to the bottom of the ocean floor is what life is all about.
You're speaking facts.
So it's like, that's why it's like one or the other. It's just like, what reality do you want to experience? Whatever that answer is, just be sure that you're okay with accepting whatever comes behind it. If you want to go out and fuck 100 guys in a week, just be sure you can take on whatever repercussions come with that, spiritually, emotionally, physically, mentally. Just, my biggest thing is not go fuck 100 guys in a week, and it's not wait until you're married. It's whatever you do, you just make sure you stand on that and you accept whatever comes behind it. And be proud of the things that you do. That's really where I stand with that. So I don't like comparing one to the other. It's what do people want to experience? Yeah. It's not even wrong. It's what do you want to experience? What do you want to experience in this life? There's a buffet. Have whatever you want. Just accept if you get sick from the crab legs, that's on you.
I agree with that. So that leads me to my next question I want to transition to. You obviously have, you're Muslim now, and I want to talk about the transition to that. What led you to that point, and what led you to be so dedicated in that space? What were you before you were Muslim?
Spiritual.
Just spiritual?
And I'm right there.
Oh,
It's not that I'm not Muslim. It's that I was in a rebuilding, purification process of my life. And when you completely demolish a house, you have to have some type of blueprint, right? You're not just going to just start putting up pillars, and there has to be a map. Islam was the only religion I've ever been drawn to. I don't like rules, and my background is very spiritual. So I go from Pacific Ocean to a religion puddle. That's any religion. This is not an attack on Islam, because it's all the religions are beautiful in their own way. You don't need religion. Let me say this, hold on. God. Oh, God.
I don't feel I don't feel like talking about this like people expect it to be worded perfectly. Like
I know, but the thing is that I have not talked about it since I took my hijab off. And there are plenty of born Muslims who are not in hijab. There are plenty of Muslims, billions, there are 2 billion Muslims in the world. I'm sure there's hundreds of thousands that are not in hijab, especially in the West. I think religion is a tool just like numerology and just like astrology. It was a tool that I used to really build a solid foundation where I went from far left to far right, and now I'm in a place of harmonization. So I think for me, what inspired me was that my soul was very tired. I see God when I see the sunset. I see God when I look at the ocean. I see God when I just am outside in the grass. And it's like you don't need specifically religion to have a relationship with God, but I think when you don't know where to turn and you don't have a foundation, like I didn't grow up religious. I grew up raised by my grandparents, unruly, making my own rules. So I think for me, I went back to the basics, learned about the foundation, and was like, okay, I'm gonna eat the meat, spit the bones, and this is where I'm at.
Mm. For religions like Islam or Christianity that say like, you know, this is the way to God. They're pretty firm on like, you know, there's not multiple routes, there's not multiple ways to God. They all have their own truth, and that's the route. I feel like Islam is similar to Christianity in that way. So how do you like put that together with like people that are just spiritual and they seek God in this way or seek God in that way? Because I feel like in religion, they will all say like, this is the one way to God. Like in Islam, I don't know the specifics of the religion, but aren't there all these like qualifications you have to do to reach God yeah, so what do you think about that? Because there are people out there that believe that anybody can reach God in any different route, and then there's people that believe that this is the one way. Now that you've experienced kind of both sides of that, where do you stand?
With what?
Just like seeking God, like is it through a religion? You don't view it as through a religion anymore, correct?
I think different people need different things, and I do not judge how people learn. Because for me, like I said, I went from Pacific Ocean to a religious puddle. I think spirituality is very broad, and I think you understand when you are able to, like the bigger picture is frameless, right? So it's kind of like, why would I say, unless I'm in a cult, that there's only one way to something? Because us having to all think the same, that is the beginning of a dictatorship. That's the beginning of a cult. That is a lot of things that to me, that just don't align with where I'm at. So I believe personally after just experience, I mean, I went full in. Like there are people who are born Muslim who are still not in hijab today. The 3 days before I took my Shahada, I was in hijab before I even took my Shahada. So I just feel like there are different things that people need throughout their journey. And I feel like even when I had the hijab on, it was like an invisibility cloak, like nobody could see me. So that was a layer of protection that when I was rebuilding myself from the fucking dirt, that I needed. So it's just like, I think different people need different stuff. And to say that one way is it, I think is incredibly irresponsible and just foolish. So it's like, there are plenty of people who tell me all the time, who write me that I'll see you in hell, sister. You know, it's like, well, you'll be right there with me, babe. Like, you know, so I just feel like, you know, I think you can implement all things. Just because I'm not in hijab, I'm still Muslim in my heart. Just as much as I love astrology, just as much as I love numerology, just as much as probably back in 1876, I was considered a witch and burned at the stake. I'm all of those things. I don't have to like discount one part, you know, of myself, because this is who I am.
I feel that. For a lot of Christians I've experienced, and I see that if you're a Christian and you're not practicing it perfectly in their eyes, it's the people that are supposed to lift you up and pray for you that end up tearing you down. So in your experience, if you aren't practicing perfectly how they want to, like you said, you receive comments, have you experienced that it's from those same people that should be like lifting you up that are tearing you down the most?
Yes.
I feel like that's a big problem in Christianity that leads people away from even wanting to mess with it. Because it's the Christian people that are the most judgmental, the most hypocritical, the most pointing the finger. and it draws people away, even though that's not God doing that. That's flawed people doing that. But
Yeah.
have you experienced the same thing?
Well, of course. I feel like some of the nastiest comments were from people who I go to their page and you're Muslim. I think you would have to really sit back and wonder if this religion is so effective and there's only one way to I guess, be right in the eyes of God, then all of these people who are practicing, how and why are they missing the mark? Is there something in the curriculum? Is it just the lack of comprehension? Like, where are we not aligning here? Because if it's such a beautiful religion, well, then shouldn't it breed beautiful people of beautiful understanding?
Right.
So then now it's like, okay, well, it's clear to me that irony is truly spectacular. And I don't need a religion to be a good person. I don't need any religion to smile at somebody on the street. I don't need a religion to do good and be good. You know, I understand there is a creator. That'd be foolish to think we're just running amok here, just unsupervised, you know, but I think it makes me wonder, I question all religions. Yeah. If the people in it are the most judgmental, something isn't right in the water.
I think that too. That's what I think a lot about Christianity a lot as well. Like if you are hearing from God, if you have the Holy Spirit, then why is it not being shown in the way you live your life? Sometimes in the way you relate to people. I think about that all the time.
And I also feel from even going to the mosques, and I have seen and experienced myself an imam who's like kind of like a preacher, who tried to have sex with me. So it's like the people who are in these positions, who should be the most devout leaders in that community, quite contradicting. Here I am, months into my journey, telling you no, but you are leading the mosque.
That's the toughest thing for me.
So
is the people that are supposed to be in the Word the most, be praying the most, be the closest to God, that fall short and are wilding out on the side, and then they get exposed for. There's been theologians who have been exposed, and I always question, like, how, if you're the most, educated on the Bible, you're speaking to God the most, you're leading the Christian community, how are you, that is something that is tough for me as well.
But I want to add to that, is that even in that experience, my empathy for him deepened, because I think sometimes people wear religion, and I can even speak from my experience too. I think it is something that when I joined Islam, I felt like it was purifying me. I felt better and more. It is like sometimes people cloak themselves with religion to have the appearance of being good, because when I'm in full hijab or if I'm in a niqab, people automatically assume, they don't know what's under here, they don't know what's going on, they're assuming I'm good. So I'm benefiting from what religion brings, that stereotype. But with even the imam, it's so extreme that there's no room for humanity. There's no room for him to be a human. If I was in a different place, I would have easily had sex with him. You know what I mean? What do you mean? Duh. I would have fucked you in the next week, but it's just where I was at. That just wasn't where it was at that time. I'm purifying, but I think that's what actually made me feel for him, because, he hadn't experienced life. He was married for a long time, had 7, 8 kids, and was with one woman. And then here you are, you're divorced now. How do you date? So my empathy deepened for him, because I'm like, you want to try the buffet of life, and you just are like,
but that's an amazing,
right.
I feel like that's an amazing place to get to, when people either wrong you or they're just bad people in life. Instead of judging, having empathy, that shows where you're at in your life, and that's really remarkable to me. What about you? Where are you at in your walk with everything?
I mean, I was baptized, so I was raised Catholic. My parents and family did. We went to Catholic church, but as I gotten older, I found myself on the Christian side of things. I'm a Christian, but to piggyback off what you said too, it's I know in my heart, and I feel where I'm at, I don't go to church like every week, or I'm not doing the things that we're technically supposed to be doing. Like we all sin differently, I feel like, but like in my heart, like I believe in God. I try not to judge. Like it's like my guideline that keeps me center to myself. Like I want a man who also believes in God and can, when he's messing up or something's going on, he looks at himself and is like, how am I gonna make, how would God, what would God tell me to do right now?
Yeah.
Like I want that to like reel him in.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like not like you have to go to church we have to do all these things, but it's like it has to center your life.
Yeah,
Like,
being
what kind
known
of
that there's
person you
someone
are.
over this whole thing, like watching, and that's
Yes.
that's a good thing.
I also just think religion too, it's a guideline, it's not a law book. So
Agreed. My last question for y'all is, y'all are both obviously have your own things going on, you know, never needed a dude, whatever. Talk about a little bit about I feel like you have businesses going on, correct? And I don't know what you got going on, but what y'all got going on like day to day? Like what's y'all's lives look like? How are you making it crack? Is it mostly social media for you? I've heard you have some businesses as well.
I mean, I'm day to day. I'm moment to moment. Social media has changed a lot. The way that I've made my money has changed. I think, you know, companies have smartened up too, and then it's also the oversaturation of a girl will take free clothes over money who's still, you know, so yeah, I'm figuring it out.
Really?
I mean, I think it's like as an entrepreneur and being on social media for 13 years, it's like it just changed a lot. So you got to adjust with the times. I think for me, my thing that I'm focused on is streaming and my own podcast. So
You'd be
it's
very, very entertaining. That's what you need to do. Because
Yeah.
no one speaks with the conviction you do and has the personality you do. You're one of a kind. So you got to somehow express that in
Thank
your
you.
own way, for sure.
She is.
What about you?
So I feel like I've been focused on mom mode, and now I want to get into starting my own business. I have an idea that I'm working on right now, and then I started my nonprofit, which is Stronger Than Stroke. So
That's awesome.
yeah, so that to me has been really fulfilling, and so yeah, I'm excited for what's to come with that and to see where it goes. And then my own business, I kind of got inspired with Basketball Wives. Like there were some things that came up for me that I was like, wow, I can actually do this. This is a lane for me. So just exploring that more is like my focus. Yeah.
I have a question though. What I'm curious about is what made you want to sit down and talk with us?
Well, honestly, because I've known her for a while, and I've seen how she gets criticized unfairly, and then I know you were in a similar situation. I know you guys are friends, and I've always kept up with some of your videos from way back in the day. I've watched some of your podcasts that you've done, and I've always respected the way that you think and the way that you're able to articulate your feelings. That's very rare, and the fact that you can go in any room and talk to anybody about any subject and you know what you're talking about. So it was more wanting to like not have a debate, but have a conversation and understand like where you guys are coming from
Yeah.
in your situations and the way you view things, because I feel like these type of conversations are usually like this side versus this side,
Yeah.
instead of people trying to understand both sides and have empathy, like you said. And I feel like that's what we're missing, and that was the whole point of Curious Mike, was not only to have people on here that you agree with or you whatever, but have people on here that you can learn from. And I feel like a lot of people can learn, especially in my shoes, like as an athlete, as whatever. People think very differently than you guys sometimes. And I feel like there's a lot of understanding to be had. So I just thought that was the reason. And I appreciate you guys.
I appreciate that. I feel like a big part of life too, and just like we're all trying to figure it out. And it's like, I want to understand why people think the way that they think and why they do what they do. So
Yeah.
I feel really seen. Thank you.
It was dope. No, I'm glad you guys pulled
thank
up.
you.
So we're going to wrap it up, man. Curious Mike out.